Welcome to the Portlaoise Plane event today. We will kick off with a parade on by a representative body from the Irish Air Corps. We warmly welcome them and Brigadier General Rory O'Connor to the event today. And thanks for their support, as always, for all things to do with Colonel James Fitzmaurice, who is an integral part of the Portlaoise Plane story. Thank you. We are honoured also to have a guard of honour at the Portlaoise Plane itself today, provided by Portlaoise's own United Nations Veteran Association, IUNVA Post 27. Thank you for that. Can we give them a round of applause? I would like to warmly welcome Councillor Conor Bergen, Cathaoirleach of Laois County Council.
Thanks very much, Alan. Just to welcome everyone here to Portlaoise this afternoon. And here today we celebrate the vision, creativity, imagination and originality of those Portlaoise men of the past. But it's also important for us to celebrate the achievement of the people who've rescued this priceless artefact from obscurity. Joe Rogers, who first highlighted the continued existence of the plane in the private collection in England. Teddy Fennelly and Alan Phelan, who pursued the plane and persuaded the owner to part with it and to allow it to return home. Brendan O'Donoghue and Johnny Molloy, who painstakingly worked on the craft to restore it to its shining glory. Tim Costelloe, who informed and inspired all those involved from the start of the project, sharing his knowledge and enthusiasm of all aspects of Irish aviation, and particularly designing the replica engine that we see on display here today at the plane. As well as being an incredibly valuable artefact on its own, the Portlaoise Plane is linked to Portlaoise's other major aviation story. We know from the memoirs that a young James Fitzmaurice witnessed the construction of the plane and was also present when it made its first short flight, experimental flight. This early exposure to the excitement of flight was credited by Fitzmaurice with inspiring him in his career as a pioneering aviator. Now, thanks to the Heritage Council funding, Teddy's collaborative approach taken by Laois County Council Culture Team, and the piece of music commemorating James Fitzmaurice as well, I'm proud now that it showcases how our culture team members from the Heritage, Library, Arts, Music and the Archive sections work together through the Creative Ireland programme and becoming more than the sum of all their parts, producing something really imaginative, groundbreaking work and something really special here in Portlaoise today.
When you look at the occasion we have here today, I think it's about three things. It's about engineering, it's about the people, and it's about the relationship with Portlaoise. And if you look at the engineering of the plane itself, it was an absolutely outstanding achievement in its day. I think, like other speakers, I want to compliment Teddy and Alan on the huge lifetime of work they've done in bringing this story together. And I think you'll be able to applaud them now. I've read your book a couple of times, Teddy. It's a fantastic piece of work. It's about people, it's about engineering, it's about adventure, it's about relationships between Europe and America, about relationships in this country as a new state, and I'd encourage anybody to read it. I've read it a couple of times. It's a fantastic account of what happened at the time. And I think all these ingredients coming together makes today a very special day for people who've been following the likes of Michael and Teddy over time. And what we want to do is we want to see it continue to improve and to continue to see it as the centrepiece for Portlaoise.
Ladies and gentlemen, our heritage is a vital part of our lives. We all know in Laois that it's a land of natural beauty, colourful history and famous people. Our natural, cultural and built heritage gives us our sense of place, who we are, and what is worth preserving. The Portlaoise Plane is a very important part of our history and heritage. It tells the story of the Aldritt brothers, who over 100 years ago in this town reached for the stars. For many years, people had dreamt of flying like birds through the skies. In Greek legend, we have the story of a man flying so near the sun that he crashed right back down to earth. Leonardo da Vinci, 500 years ago, designed flying machines on his drawing board, but on the drawing board is where they stayed. It was only in 1903 that the Wright brothers are credited with the first successful heavier-than-air manned flight. This happened in America. Within 5 years, two brothers in a garage in Portlaoise dreamt of building their own flying machine. The Aldritt brothers not only dreamt of it, but they built it and they flew it. Here it is today, back in Portlaoise, the Portlaoise Plane. It is a visible reminder of two local men who had an impossible dream and realised it. It was one of the first planes to fly in Ireland, indeed the first in what is now the Republic of Ireland. It is a proud part of the story of Irish aviation and a treasured element of the story of Portlaoise and Laois. That we have the plane back in Portlaoise is also a study in inspiration, cooperation, determination and perseverance. A massive amount of help, encouragement and support for the restoration and return of the Portlaoise Plane came from various quarters. They included the experts who restored the plane, Laois County Council and its heritage officer, aviation enthusiasts, the Air Corps, Laois Heritage Society, Laois School of Music, UN veterans, the Colonel Fitzmaurice and Portlaoise Plane committees and the Heritage Council. The list goes on. While this has been a marvellous joint effort, I feel that I must single out by name one person. He has recaptured both the story and the plane for the sake of the people of Portlaoise and Laois. He has motivated everyone with his selfless drive and enthusiasm. That person is Teddy Fennelly, and we all owe him a debt of gratitude for rescuing this vital part of our heritage.
If it required the cooperation and goodwill of the Aldritt family, with their great engineering skills, and master craftsman John Conroy, who built the framework, along with William Rogers and others, to create this early aviation specimen, then similarly, it required the cooperation, talents and goodwill of many people to get it back to this country and have it restored in such magnificence. And firstly, I would like to acknowledge our MC here for today, Alan Phelan, for his contribution, a man who works in the aviation business, for his important role in the project. Without his motivation and support all the way, this could not have happened. So thanks very much, Alan. We were also fortunate to have at our disposal such a hard-working and talented committee. These have been mentioned already, but I think it's worth mentioning them again. We have Catherine Casey, our Laois Heritage Officer. She needs no introduction here in County Laois, as she has been. Catherine has been the keystone to the establishment of a keen awareness of the rich heritage all around us in County Laois, and just how important it is in all aspects of our lives. Catherine has been unstinting in her efforts to support this project, and it is just one of a very impressive array of projects that she has spearheaded throughout the county over the years. Louise Cahill, who lives in Greystones, has given us all her considerable talents and time to the project. Her enthusiasm and administrative skills has kept us all flying high. Sean Murray is chairman of Laois Heritage Society and has put all his and the Society's backing behind the project. Laois Heritage Society have been flying the flag of Laois's amazing history and heritage for the past half-century and more, and have been central to its growth in popularity from a mere minority interest to what it is now seen as a cornerstone of Irish society today. Of course, these are all busy people, but as I say, if you want anything done, well, ask a busy person. And there's no more so than our own PJ Kavanagh of the Old Fort Festival fame, who is the epitome of the new, positive, confident and progressive Portlaoise we have today. I must pay a special tribute to our restorers. What can I say? But it was another miracle indeed for us to find such experienced and talented men to have on board. Yes, we were so lucky to have on our restoration team Brendan O'Donoghue here from County Meath, from Enfield in County Meath. And his great friend Johnny Molloy, who are both nationally acclaimed in their own field. I can say, basically, what we see here today, thanks to the help of those people gone by. But this is Brendan's creation. Thank you very much, Brendan. He started with a dusty skeleton, and while retaining the original parts of the old plane, with Johnny's help, we now have a beautiful restored, fit-to-fly flying machine, the original of the spacious. As we've heard, Colonel James Fitzmaurice, aspirations to be the first to fly the Atlantic, east to west, was considered an impossible dream. It was considered an impossible dream by aviation experts of the day, such as no lesser man than the most famous aviator of them all, perhaps Colonel Charles Lindbergh. So too for us to achieve the unlikely ambition of repatriating the Portlaoise Plane to Ireland and to County Laois, it was considered an impossible dream. But it does prove that sometimes, if we work hard enough to achieve our ambitions, then amazing things can happen. It is very appropriate then to have our own talented musicians in Music Generation Laois under Siobhan and Rosa Flannery. And they're here today, as we have heard, to perform their lovely piece of music, composed by that brilliant composer, Martin Tourish, who took time off, of course, to be here with us today as well, and appropriately titled The Impossible Dream. The music marks the famous transatlantic flight of Colonel James Fitzmaurice in 1928, and now also recognises the unlikely return of the old plane that inspired him to become an aviator to its hometown, Portlaoise. Thank you.
And isn't he a rare bird himself, man Teddy? And now we have the second piece of music from Music Generation Laois Tradoxa with Martin Tourish, accompanied by Siobhan Buckley.